Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for checking out another video. We have some drama and some trash talking amongst two of the top teams in the CDL. So for those of you that don't know, Atlanta and Chicago scrim tonight. Very soon we're going to break down the last 3 minutes of this film on Rammaza that led to a pretty big argument between the Chicago Huntsmen. It started with Gunless, as it usually does, but there's an argument. We're going to get to that, and then we're going to break down why it happened. But first, there's some trash talking. So if we go back, after this, Simp tweeted this just shortly after their scrim. So it's just this little video here of Snoopy laughing. And then under that, when I was looking at the comments, he also had another reply, which has since been deleted. But I did get to capture it on my phone. So he also tweeted this. It says, so Saint said AR players just wake up mad every day. Somebody said not Celium. And then Parasite, obviously a controversial figure from Call of Duty's past, said not everyone has 3 tiny demons sprinting forward doing the Dougie on the enemy squad. And then after that, Faze Simp tweeted, sounds like a skill gap to me. So since that tweet has been deleted, you can no longer find it, but there's definitely some drama and some trash talking amongst these 3 teams. Now, at the end of that, we had a little disagreement, a little argument towards the end of this. So Chicago did end up losing this by 1 point, in which they should have won. We're going to break that down in just a second, but before we get into it, I want you guys to listen to this. So real quick, just tune in and listen to this argument.
Oh, no, sorry. Before you even say anything, when they're contesting, they're not fucking mid-arch. It's always the back arch. So what are we saying? They're not way down. They're not gonna. Go fucking kill the guy. You know where he is.
Wait, there was one guy mid-arch. That's why I was calling that.
Oh, that was probably my bad. I tried to pick up top mid pinch.
No, bro, we got all the kills.
Yeah, we shouldn't have flooded there. We shouldn't have flooded.
All the kills. That's the worst part about it. And nobody decided, huh? Maybe we should push the last guy in the back.
Yeah, I mean,
dude.
The reason why Dylan did is because he saw a guy mid-arch before he smoked it.
There was not only one of them.
We had 4 kills.
It was one guy at one point. Yeah, it was one guy. It was one guy.
Nah, it was 2 of them, but yeah, it still should have
doesn't
ran
matter.
him.
Still should have pushed him. Doesn't.
So annoying, bro.
It's annoying as I threw a trophy and got double naded with Matt.
Even on the construction hill, like, bro, we're so like f***ing everywhere. Why did it take me to come back to hill for Alec to push top paint? Why is top paint the last thing that we're picking up? I don't give a f about dirt. I don't give a f about dub.
Yeah,
and I don't give a f about servers.
Nah, dirt is way more
where was I
important
in
than
this?
anything.
Oh, no,
Paint is way more important than dirt.
I was gonna say,
get.
I
think I was coming off spawn. Off rotation, dirt makes him not spawn there.
Top cat's kind of important.
Way more important. You can get dirt and.
Yeah, once they go across cat, bro, then they can literally f us up because they can
dirt that whole hill, then they spawn.
But I mean, we can pick up dirt from top. You know what I'm saying? Like goes exceptions, go top and go hold cat and see dirt. That's how I held it. I killed 2.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, I was dirt the whole hill. I was like calling out everyone.
All right, so a little bit of a trouble in paradise there in Chicago. Now, I do want to point this out before we break down this film. Faze Simp had a little bit of a right to trash talk. This is the maps that happened in that scrim. So they went 8-0 over the course of 5 hardpoints and 3 doms, 250 to 223 on Hackney Yard, massive win on Cave, massive win on Gunrunner. The Rammaza one, which we're going to break down, which is what that argument was about. They won by 1. Another big win in Petrograd, and then the domination wins were all pretty much runaways. None of these games were close. So with that, let's go ahead and let's break down just the last 3 or 4 minutes of this game here as it rotates through the last few hard points. All right, so as we hop on board with Formal here, you're going to see it's at that electronic shop hard point. This is the second of the 5 hard points. They're still pushing this, which I don't know, if I'm Chicago, I'm probably going to give that up. This game is coming down to the wire, so we want as many resources forward on the hill transfer as we could possibly have. So as it rotates to this third barbershop hill, you can see that their resources were kind of split. They had a couple still pushing that back electronic shop, the second hard point, while a few were pushing barbershop. They should have just flooded towards barbershop so that they locked down map location, spawns, and hill control, but now they don't really have any of that. They are in hill right now. 5 just went down. If you look at the kill feed in the bottom left, 5 just went down for Atlanta. That's going to reverse. So one thing with Formal is that it's great to watch him if you're trying to look for rotations and stuff like that, But if you're watching him to try to decide what's going on in Hill, it's not the best. So what happened there is Atlanta pushed out the back and they were able to grab spawns. So they finished the kills in Hill and they're able to get spawns. So this 10-point Chicago lead is going to end up being erased by the time it transfers back to construction, the 4th Hill. So they're still pushing this. I feel like they're just doing this a little bit too much. Formal and Seth and Envoy all just died there when there's only 16 seconds left. By the time they went down, there was 20 seconds left. At that point in time, just get set up on back platform, back construction, set up on the crosswalk, set up on dirt, just set up on all of those cutoffs so that when it finally goes through and transfers back to the 4th hardpoint, you're in position. So you don't have to worry about this anymore. So now we're back in construction. The time is ticking. You can see that not only is Chicago set up, but they're inside Hill and they're getting most of those points. Formal is going to go down here pretty soon. So right here, 2 rush. He doesn't get any of them, which is kind of a little bit of a mistake, but they do end up trading that out. So it's not going to kill them in terms of the end of this game. Now, that could be a big deal. If Formal could have got a double there, then they probably would have won off of this Hill. Now, that's hindsight because we know what happens in the end. They end up losing by 1 point, but each and every single one of those kills are clutch as it could be. Now, if you look at the score, right now it's 230 with 17 seconds left. So at the end of this Hill, the most that Chicago could have is 247. So Atlanta knows that Chicago's not going to win off of this Hill. So what they're doing is they just went and they're rotating and they're setting up for arches. With 2 seconds left, you're going to see it's 247 to 214. Any pro team, whether it's, you know, Chicago, Dallas, Atlanta, whatever, should be able to flood a Hill like this and get 5 kills and get the rest of those points. But there are a couple mistakes that are made. So I want to point this out, and this is what Gunless was talking about. Right here, look at your mini-map in the top left-hand corner. There's a blue arrow going mid to top catwalk, to that cut, and that's what Scump was doing there. So Scump is pushing that top catwalk pinch, and then now when Formal comes off spawn, there goes Seth. So Seth's trying to get into hardpoint. Now, it doesn't help that he gets naded by Formal, but at that point in time, it was too late. They had already recovered, so he's essentially doing like a 1v3, a 1v4 push, and it's just too late. And now if you look at the score in the bottom left-hand corner, it's 249, 243. They're trying to contest. They're trying to lay down and get these points, but that Arch's doorway there is just being littered with nades, and with 2 seconds left, they do get a contest in, but they end up dying at the back and at Arches, and that's going to be all she wrote. So right now, that argument that we talked about earlier, that's what's going on in the background, but we are not going to watch that. With that, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Once the CDL comes around, we're going to be watching that. We're going to be hitting those videos with full force, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the CDL coverage once the tournaments come up in late January at Minnesota. Don't forget to leave a like before you head on your way, and with that, I will catch you in the next one. We'll see you.